Heya! I think today that we're just going to do a monthly check-in type of devlog. I will say this video is going to be a little bit more me talking, a little less well thought out, a lot more, So if you're cool with that and want to stick around and just kind of hang out with me as I yap, enjoy. Please join me. Otherwise, maybe wait for the next video. Okay, let's get going. So, January. What an interesting month. I'm not gonna lie, you guys, this month has been like really, really rough. And I feel like I've gotten almost nothing done. Well, that's not true, I guess. I've gotten some things done. Just, I haven't been nearly as productive as I wanted to be. But alas, not every month is a banger. So I have a couple of unfinished codes that I guess I'll talk about next month, maybe. The only thing that I've really made any significant progress on this month is character related. So I've done some character background development, I've done some sprite work. Ooh, this is really cool actually. Okay, let me show you. I did some status art. I replaced some of my placeholder status art for my status menu thing. I did the face images for Kaya, Lars, and Annabelle. And I even did Kaya's little chibi sprite. Lars and Annabelle don't have their chibis yet. But like, isn't that so cute? She's holding her cat. And of course, I haven't actually done the art for the main character or most of the party members actually, I guess. So, though the thing that I spent the most time on this month is I created a new party member! Yay! Another one! I think she makes number 7. Yeah, she's number 7, which I used to only have 5. I thought I was going to stop at 5, and then I added a 6th. And, you know, now here I am, adding a 7th. But I had a role that needed to be filled in the story. And then I created this character thinking she was going to be an NPC or a guest party member or something like that. And then I fell in love with her. I just love her. I love her so much. She has to stick around. But I think I might make her optional, perhaps. I do have another optional character who's kind of hard to get, and I don't expect many people to actually find him. He's more there for me. And honestly, that's what this girl kind of is. So here she is. Her name is Lior. Oh, I love her. So the idea behind Lior is that she's a bard on the surface, and there's this part of the game where one of the party members kind of betrays the team. And in true JRPG fashion, the rest of the party members are like, but she's our friend! She wouldn't betray us! No, we've got to go get her! We got to go find her and talk this out because, you know, friendship. And the place where they're going to be able to meet this traitor to the team is a ball. And they're trying to get into this ball and they can't because of, you know, they're not on the guest list or whatever. And so I wanted somebody who could like help them sneak into the ball. And so I created this bard character. But she's not just a bard, she's actually a thief. She's a bard kind of on the surface. And then when I was thinking about like, oh, you know, it would be really easy and fun to code a stealing mechanic in battle. And then I just did that. So she works actually. She's a thief, she's a bard, and I was like, wow, I put all this effort into her. She has to join. She's a party member now. Also, she's really cute. Like, look at her. I love her. And at the end of the day, it's honestly a really good thing that I'm adding her to the party. Because the party was a bit small for the size of the game. The game is kind of big. And a small party is good, a small party is fine, but I have known kind of in the back of my head that I had room for more party members if the need arose. And so when Lior got invented, she's so cute, she's so perfect, she has to stay forever. She's so funny. So many of my characters are a little bit doom and gloom. Like, honestly all but one of them have, deep, dark, sad backstory sort of stuff. And a couple of them are quite, serious all the time. So I wanted a character who was a little bit less serious, a little bit less, oh no, I have to get revenge, and I'm going to kill you, and, I just wanted a character who was a little bit more chill, a little bit more down to earth. Also, in my game, I have humans and then I have non-humans. The non-humans are kind of, elves, sort of. Not really. Kind of elves, kind of fairies. Whatever. They're not human. They're magic-y. Whatever. I was leaning a little bit heavier on the non-human side when it came to my party members. And I was counting up the party members and I was like, damn, I really need a human in here. Come on, human. I need a full-blooded human, not like a weird human, not a human that's, secretly some sort of lab experiment, not a human that, oh my god, actually she's half not human. I wanted a full-blooded, just a human. I think that she'll work well with my party, which is so important whenever creating an RPG like this. I've always preferred party-based RPGs over single-character ones because of the group dynamic. There's just something about those found family vibes that hit different. Games like Zelda or Elden Ring, I love Elden Ring, are cool. Games like that are cool, but that solo adventure vibe doesn't scratch the same itch as a good JRPG party where everyone's bantering and bickering and having heartfelt moments. Because honestly, to me, the characters are the most important part of the game. Or, well, any story really. The plot's important, sure, but I can forgive a bad or mediocre plot when there's a team dynamic that gets me invested. Let's talk for a second about one of my favorite quote-unquote mediocre games, Tales of Xillia. I'm replaying this one right now, and I'm enchanted with this game, guys. Not because it has the best story or world or mechanics, because, it doesn't. Those are all pretty par for the course for the typical Tales of stuff. But this team, guys. First of all, I can't overstate how much I love the tough chick and twink duo. Also the dynamic between the retired war strategist and then this little girl, and how Leia looks up to Mila like an older sister. Oh my god, I just love it. Every character is a decent character on their own, but the way they play off of each other really brings the heart to this game. My favorite example in Tales of Xillia of characters that I think are better for their interactions with each other are Alvin and Elise. To me, Alvin gives off the vibes of a young deadbeat dad, and Elise is too mature for her own age daughter who's already clocked his bad behavior. I love the way that Elise gives him the cold shoulder and ignores him and talks badly about him, and she acts like she's not expecting anything from him, but then she still gets hurt and disappointed whenever he inevitably lets the party down or whatever. And Alvin still feels shame whenever he disappoints Elise, and then he tries to play it off with jokes and apologies that are maybe sort of true, but he's that sort of interesting relationship adds so much more to the game when he inevitably does some traitor stuff, instead of just oh no, you betrayed us and now we have to do an extra dungeon or something. The fact that it's a personal letdown, you're our friend, we trusted you. What the hell, man? Ugh, it's just good. The best parties, they aren't just a bunch of people thrown together for plot reasons. They bounce off of each other in ways that feel interesting and fun and even emotional. And they argue and they joke around and they have those little moments of understanding. Ugh, that is the good stuff, man. That's the stuff that makes a game feel alive to me. So for Lior, she brings a bit of comic relief to the team because she's quite sarcastic, sneaky, and not really interested in all this saving the world garbage that's guiding the rest of the team at the time whenever Lior joins. She is, however, very interested in money, which will make for a nice contrast with some of the less practical goals of the other party members. Since we're here anyway, it might be fun to have an introduction to some of the team. So first is my main character, Noen. Noen is the clueless airhead sort of guy. He's clumsy, a little dumb, and like way too trusting for his own good. He has a sort of magic reaction of unknown origins with the first character to join the party, and it sets off a series of not so great events for this poor kid. He lives and works at a church dedicated to the goddess of the game world, and he seems to have this sort of connection with her too, having weird dreams and stuff about the goddess. It's a whole thing. He's a main character in a JRPG. You know how it is. Next is Kaya. She's an Imperial Knight super soldier kind of thing, and also a total ice queen, and also hot. She's hot. I love her. She's hot. She's hellbent on revenge and ruthless. She's like a lot more sensitive and conflicted than she's willing to let on, and she also has such a resting bitch face. It's hot. No one gets along with her quite well from the start, because apparently his type is people who can beat him up. Same. Annabelle is the next to join the party because she finds herself homeless due to reasons. She's hot-headed and a little gloomy. She's like a typical black cat type of character, or she's a tsundere. Like, let's call it what it is. I'm anime trash and she's a tsundere. But she's also clever and really well read, so she ends up being the extrapolates about what stuff is person on the team. Lars is a freaking vampire, and also a self-centered playboy, overcompensating with flirtation to avoid thinking about his own insecurities. And then the last on the main team, like the last of those first 5 that I developed, is Vasek. Vasek is, well, I don't know if you're supposed to pick favorites, but Vasek is my favorite. I think I'll get into him in another video because this one's running a little bit long and I just love him so much. Oh my gosh. I could literally talk about him forever. Like, he is my favorite character. So, in addition to the character stuff, I did mention that I have a couple of unfinished plugins. I guess I could briefly talk about them. First of all, my skit system thing, my party chat stuff, broke. It broke. The chats themselves didn't break, but the way that I was calling them made something break. So I started restructuring all of that, how I call them, to work a little bit better in the long run. I guess whenever I first started making that system, I didn't think about how involved it was going to be, and how there could be like multiple skits being called at the same time, and then, you know, I wanted to have the ability for like a little pop-up whenever you get a new one, and so I was doing it all through eventing before, and it was fine, but then if there was too much going on, it could lag a little bit and it was just annoying. So I decided to start writing a code to replace my evented system, and it's just like setting up a lot of stuff on the back end right now, and I don't really have anything to show for it visually. But it's gonna work out, and it'll be really nice in the long run. It'll be super useful to have. I also started working on a code regarding my friendship system and my friendship variables. I had all the variables set up before, but then I had attempted to use this friendship system by MoogleX here. And I found that it did a lot of the things that I wanted to do, but I wanted more control over it. So I'm just making my own. The one thing that I really, really didn't like about MoogleX's friendship system is the menu. I wanted to create my own little custom menu. And I also wanted friendship to add automatically in certain times, like outside of battle. So it ended up making more sense for me to just kind of make a plugin myself for my own use. But yeah, that's been my January. I've really enjoyed sitting down and talking about characters with you guys. I think maybe I should make a video where I get more into character design and like how I go into that, and like tips to create characters and how a party can work together, and maybe even getting into the mechanics side a little bit too, because that is important. I mean, talking about a group of characters, if this was a book, it's one thing, but it's not a book, it's a video game. So they have to work together personality-wise, story-wise, and also like mechanic-wise. Anyway, let me know if you guys want to see a video like that, I guess. Or if you have any other ideas for videos, just drop your idea in the comment section and I will probably get to filming that for you. If you stuck around this long for this kind of weird, low-key, chill video, thank you. It was really good to have you. If you want to support this poor game developer, consider buying me a coffee. Link in description. Or not. I feel so awkward asking that. How do YouTubers do that in like every single video? They're like, tickle the subscribe button, like this video, comment, join my Patreon. It's kind of cringe, right? Okay, well, this has run on for too long. Thanks for hanging out. Bye!